In the ever-evolving world of geopolitics, the only constant is change. A fragmented global system is shaking the pillars of the once dominant dollar. Emerging threats are challenging the dollar's global influence. This isn't a sudden phenomenon, but the result of subtle and gradual shifts in the global order. These shifts are unique, unprecedented, and affect us all. They're a stark reminder that the world of finance is as volatile as the political landscape it navigates. We've seen the Federal Reserve's monetary policies come under scrutiny. Their decisions, once deemed as standard and predictable, are now seen as contributing to the dollar's challenges. And let's not forget the geopolitical tensions. These aren't just political chess games being played out on the global stage. They're influencing economic trends, shaping financial policies, and even threatening the dollar's standing. And while the dollar grapples with these internal and external pressures, countries like China and Russia are making strategic moves. They're building alternative trading and payment infrastructures around the dollar, signaling a potential shift in global power dynamics. In response to these challenges, nations are seeking to reduce their dependence on the greenback. Countries like China and Russia are leading the charge, making concerted efforts to build alternative trading and payment infrastructures. What we are witnessing is not just a series of economic maneuvers but a strategic shift in approach, a profound change in the global economic order. These nations are no longer content to play by the rules of a game where the dollar calls the shots. Instead, they are creating their own rules, establishing their own systems, and in doing so, challenging the long-standing dominance of the dollar. This is not merely an economic decision, it's a geopolitical one, a clear attempt to reshape global trade dynamics. But why is this happening? Well, the reasons are multifaceted. In part, it's a response to the Federal Reserve's monetary policies and geopolitical tensions. But it's also about control, about the ability to dictate terms, to influence global economic trends. It's about power, and the desire to wield it more effectively. The implications of these developments are profound. A world where the dollar is not the default currency is a world that looks very different from the one we know today. It's a world where new alliances are formed, where old alliances are tested, and where the balance of economic power shifts in ways we can't fully predict. These efforts are a clear indication of a power shift in the making, with the potential to redefine the global economic landscape. To strengthen the dollar's position, a new approach is necessary. A call for revitalizing multilateralism and redesigning international financial institutions to be more inclusive is echoing across the globe. In a world where economics is no longer the sole driver of global trade dynamics, a rule-based system in international finance is not just desirable, it's essential. Top economist Mohamed El-Erian believes that the threats to the dollar's dominance are unique and emerging, and the only way to counter them is to adapt and evolve. He points out that our global system is becoming more fragmented, with countries like China and Russia seeking to build alternative trading and payment infrastructures. This shift in the global order presents a clear and present challenge to the dollar's global influence. In response to this, El-Erian emphasizes the need for a more inclusive and redesigned international financial system. The current structure, he argues, is becoming less effective in a world where geopolitical tensions, and not just economic factors, are shaping global trade dynamics. Revitalizing multilateralism, he suggests, is a fundamental step in this direction. It means fostering cooperation between nations, engaging in dialogue, and working towards common goals. This is not just about strengthening the dollar, it's about creating a financial system that is resilient, inclusive, and able to weather the storms of a rapidly changing world. In the face of these emerging global challenges, the question remains, will the dollar retain its dominance, or will the world witness a new era in international finance? As we stand at the cusp of a potential shift in global power dynamics, it's clear that the world of geopolitics is more complex than ever. We've explored the multifaceted threats to the dollar's global supremacy. Economic forces are no longer the sole players on this stage, as geopolitical tensions and strategic policy decisions are increasingly shaping the world's financial landscape. We've also delved into the rise of alternative trading and payment infrastructures. Countries like China and Russia are actively seeking to reduce their dependence on the greenback, signaling a potential shift in the economic order. And then there's the call for action, a plea for a more inclusive international financial system. The importance of a rule-based system in international finance has been emphasized, with the need to revitalize multilateralism and redesign our global financial institutions. In this ever-changing global chessboard, who will make the next move remains to be seen. One thing is certain, the game of geopolitics continues. Let's take a moment to review some of the key events that have unfolded in the world of geopolitics this week. We start our focus with Taiwan, a small but significant island nation in the throes of the US-China power tussle. Given the ongoing heat between these two global powerhouses, Taiwan has found itself on a diplomatic tightrope, with the threats, mostly veiled, piling up in and around its territorial waters. It's a tense standoff that has the international community watching the East Asian waters with bated breath, as every move could have rippling effects on the global political landscape. Moving our lens to the Red Sea, we see another hotbed of geopolitical tension. The recent disruptions in this area have resulted in a surge in shipping costs that are reverberating across Europe. The delicate balance of power in the region is now under threat as the conflict between Israel and Hamas looms ominously, with the prospect of it spilling over into Lebanon, which would further exacerbate the region's precarious situation. Let's then shift our attention to the energy sector. The past week saw a major shakeup with European oil and gas stocks registering significant hits. The key reason behind this downturn is the aggressive price slashing by Saudi Arabia, along with a noticeable uptick in OPEC output. The reverberations of these adjustments are being felt on a global scale, and investors worldwide are tracking these fluctuations with keen interest to gauge the potential impact on global energy markets. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic in the United States, political leaders from both sides of the aisle have reached a consensus on a $1.6 trillion spending deal that will effectively stave off a partial government shutdown. This agreement addresses crucial budgetary issues, injecting a shot of stability into an economy still recovering from the tumultuous effects of the pandemic. In other news, MSCI's broadest index of stocks has been experiencing a roller coaster ride of late. After a retreat of 2.5% last week, it slipped almost 1% this week. Investors are steeling themselves for the upcoming release of US inflation data and the corporate reporting season, both of which could potentially cause further volatility. As we navigate these turbulent financial waters, the need for diligent observation and informed decision-making becomes ever more pressing. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video for more geopolitical insights. Stay informed, and until next time.